Hey yogis, and welcome to class. Today I am joined by my little guy Jovian. You want to say hi?
Hi.
He's playing Minecraft in the corner. If you hear some crunching and munching, it's because he's got some snacks. So we're going to be working toward Hollowback today. And Hollowback usually comes in the form of a handstand or a forearm stand. And it's marked by this big openness of the chest, big stretch for the latissimus dorsi, full flexion of the shoulder joint in an overhead range there. You'll also get a little bit of thoracic opening, so we'll deal with that today. And then there's like a gaze shift by definition. So whether or not you do the Hollowback Pinchamayurasana or Hollowback handstand today, you can still, I suspect, benefit from the opening we'll get. And of course, we'll visit basically the whole body as we normally do. So let's start in our seated position. Palms can face down, can close the eyes. Simply bring awareness to breath. Observe it as it moves in. Observe it as it moves out. Keeping an awareness of your breathing, let's open the eyes and take the gaze to the left. And through center, take your gaze to the right. And then through center, tip your head to one side. And over to the other side.
I need wood
And then back through center. Take a little twist to the right.
I'm gonna build a house.
And through center to the left. And then through center again. Let's make fists. I'm going to roll them around in circles, just warming and activating at the wrist joint.
1, 2, 3.
Circle in the other direction.
1, 2, 3.
Beautiful. Tip over to one side, arm up and over. Find your side body opening. Long breathing. This is also a chance as you exhale to feel the ab wall draw back, even to find a gentle lifting at the pelvic floor. The inhale as the pelvic floor softens all the way.
6.
While we're over here, let's take that top hand behind the head, send the elbow back, heart open, lift it, chest to the sky.
7.
Strong abdomen, open heart.
8.
And then back at center, release the hands, tip it over to the other side. Arm up and over, side body delight.
10.
As you exhale, empty all the way, feel the ab wall, even a lift of the pelvic floor. But as you inhale, that all softens. Let's take this top hand behind the head. We'll roll the heart open. Lean back a bit. Let's breathe to the front ribs. Still so strong at the ab wall, like it's a firm pedestal. And then come on up to center. Let's take both hands behind the head. Tip up and back. And then over to one side, down through the center, over to the other side, and up and back. And make a couple circles this way. Trying to move it just the shoulder girdle, really. And then circle in the other direction.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
And then back at center. Let's shrug the shoulders up and draw them back and down. Let's get a little heat into the shoulders a few more times here. And then one elbow circles up and back, the other elbow circles up and back, and then keep doing that, alternate. Joby, and if you want to do any of this, you totally can.
Okay. 1, 2.
And then get straighter and straighter through the arms. As you do this, you consider pulling the front ribs down a little bit and drawing them in, so you get a little extra stretch through the armpit, through the lat that way. Handful more times on each side, getting real warm. And then take the right arm across the chest, pull it in. You can even soften the head and neck a little bit. Through center, other arm across. You can stretch your neck as well if you like. And then back at center. Let's shift this right into all fours. Starting as we so often do with the fingers facing wide. Here's an opportunity to hug the ab wall back, get super strong in the belly, right? And then rock yourself side to side. And then make big circles like this. Circling the other way. And then at neutral, you can stay like that if it's enough, or start to point the fingers farther and farther back toward you. You can rock yourself back. And then as you're back here, you might even sway a little bit. Whatever gives you a good feeling stretch. Take some time. Still a real focus on the breathing. And then come back to neutral. Point the fingers forward, and you're going to lift the right palm and set it down. Then lift the left palm and set it down. And then just keep on doing that.
Mommy,
Mm-hmm.
I'm a really good teacher.
Oh, honey, thank you so much. I love you. It's really kind.
I love you too.
And then back at neutral, you might even come onto fingertips. Extend this right leg behind, tuck those toes, and pump out. So you get a stretch behind the knee, the calf Achilles. All right, we'll bend this right knee. We'll start to do some cars. So trying to isolate at the right hip joint. So there's a big tendency to kind of like swing the hip wide. Try not to do that. Keep it right low and stable as you circle using just your muscle. So it's kind of a precise action. Keep exploring that full range. Let's do it till we get a little heat and fatigue there. You could switch directions if that feels useful. And then you'll step this right foot outside the right hand. Let the hips come forward, and we'll breathe into this opening a little bit. In fact, why don't we squeeze knee to heel to knee for 6, 5, 4, get some heat, 3, 2, 1, and then totally release. So now, hopefully we find a deeper stretch. Breathing. Tuck the back toes, lift that knee, keep the left hand planted, and we're going to sweep the right arm up to the sky, little thoracic opening. And then to get some heat, tuck this right arm underneath your left, reach as far as you can. Do it 4 more times. Slow is good. Just feel your engagement, feel your breath. Feel the full range.
I'm gonna get back to doing Minecraft.
Okay.
But can I teach them how to do a handstand against the wall?
I promise at the end of class, I'm going to let you teach if you want to, okay? And then set the knees down. You got to let Mama work, okay? Thank you, honey. So extend that left leg back. We'll press back through the heel and rock yourself forward and back, feeling that calf stretch. I'm excited that you want to participate and be involved. I love that. And then we'll bend this left knee. Same thing, keep the hips relatively stable. You're trying to isolate the motion in the joint by making circles and just exploring the limit. Yes, you could get sloppy and it'll seem like you have a bigger range of motion, but don't cheat yourself that way. Get precise. Feel the whole range. We're doing it a bunch so we get a little warmth there. Might circle the other way. And then you'll step that left foot outside the left hand. Let the hips move forward. And we're going to squeeze. Left heel to right knee to left heel. Really, really active. Squeeze hard for 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And then a complete release and a stretch. We'll tuck the back toe, lift that back knee, plant the right hand, send the left arm up toward the sky for these thoracic rotations. Open the heart, and then reach through. 4 more, nice and slow, so you feel your whole range, every activation. And then plant hands. We'll step that right foot outside right hand. Sinking low into a squat. Sink nice and low, and I'll let you settle in for a while. So take your time. You might even shift a bit left and right.
Can I just say in Minecraft, need it?
Whatever you say, they can hear you already. So if you want to say it, you can say it. And let me just say that while we're here, we're actually going to start alternating forward fold, stay as long as you like, and then shift into your malasana, your squat. And then if you want to add a little bit of shoulder opening, take your arms up and overhead, make a giant circle while you're there, and then continue. We'll do it alternating several times. Go ahead, honey.
So if you let your kid play Minecraft, if you have a sister, let your sister build, teach you how to make the Minecraft house, because I know how to make a house in Minecraft.
Yeah, your big sis is so helpful, right? Yeah, Fiona's so nice.
Yeah. I love my sissy.
Couple more times. And then you'll end up landing at the forward fold. Okay, let's make sure it's not just a stretch for the back, it's a stretch for the leg. So one way to do that is just try to bend one leg at a time. Alternate a couple more times. All right, hands to shins. Come on up to flat back. Let the blood move away from your head for a little bit. And then we'll plant hands. I'm going to come on into downward facing dog. Do your thing. Get into your calves, get into your legs, get into the side body. Wake everything up. And then once you find that down dog, we're going to do some trap shrugging. So you push into the ground so hard with your palms that your armpits seem to lengthen, the traps and the shoulder blades reach upward towards your ears, and you'll even start to squeeze the elbows and the upper arms toward each other. All right, we're still going to pull the ribs down away from the armpits and kind of in. That's actually super hard for me. And then we're going to do it like 8 times. So go ahead, push, push, push. Keep going. Okay, and then release it. Extend the right leg up high behind. Put a bend in that knee. Here too, keep the hips square. We'll start those cars again. This isolating the hip joint. Take it slow so you can really explore the range. We're not going to do it as much this time, just a couple more. Really feel where your limit is. And then step the right foot forward. Okay, reach the legs away, sweep the right arm up to the sky. And then reach it forward. Take big arms, find yourself in Warrior Two. I'll straighten the right leg and then rebend. Twice more like that. You can even reach the arms up. Back at Warrior Two. Let's come straight-legged again, parallel through the feet, reach the arms all the way up. One hand behind the other. Try to lock your elbows. Pull the ribs down and in as you pulse the arms backward. That's all we're doing. Actually, we'll shrug the shoulders up and then pulse. 10, 9. Try to keep the elbows straight. Keep going. And then open the arms. Take a dive down. Enjoy this fold. And then on up to flat. Let's open the arms out wide, stand all the way up, and you'll make yourself a triangle. Left toes in, right toes out. Stay open wide. Okay, touching down. Hardly matters how far you touch down. We really want to stay open through the chest. And we can even be circling this top arm. I love the slow motion movement. You feel every little muscle as it fires. Okay, left arm across your ear, look down, roll down, sweep the right leg high. Let's come on to elbows. Interlace the fingers, plant your head. I'm inviting you into a headstand here. If you'd like to take a wall, go ahead. Joby, and if you want to hop into your headstand, feel free, but you don't have to.
How do you do that, Mommy?
Took a lot of practice.
I'm gonna do legs.
Okay, you want to do it up against the wall? Yeah. Okay.
Can I do it now?
Oh yes, we could do it at the same time. But I'll come down so you can do yours.
Where is...
Go ahead. Oh, get yourself a little closer to the wall. Come away for a second. First of all, you look great, but come down. Good job. And get your head a little bit closer to that wall. Nice. Excellent. Make a strong foundation, so plant your hands a little closer together, palms down. Yes, that is awesome. Can you make your body long? Looking good.
If you want to do it without your hands, you can, but you need to take practice.
Mm-hmm. Wow. Okay. Thanks, bud. When we come down, we're going to return to downward facing dog. Thank you, teacher's apprentice here. We'll sweep the left leg high. Once again, hips stay even, put a bend in the knee, make some circles. It can almost feel unsatisfying if we're doing it right, because we're exploring that often limited range of motion, but it's so useful for firing all the muscles around the hips. A few more times. And then we'll step the left foot forward. Roll this left arm up. Oh, make a giant circle. Arm reaches forward as you create warrior two. And then stand straight. You can even reach up. We'll do that just twice more. Okay, back to warrior two. And then back to straight legs. We'll parallel through feet. And here again, arms reach up. One hand behind the other. Hopefully it's the opposite hand now. And you're going to hug your ribs down and in a little bit. So it makes the range of motion look like you're not as open, and that's okay because we're trying to really get honest with ourselves here. So we're going to take the hands together, try to keep the elbows straight. The head just kind of does what it has to do. The big thing is that you're keeping those ribs in and firm, and you're pulsing back, okay? Do it 8 more times. Go ahead. And then release. Okay, open the arms wide. Let's get that interlacing of the fingers and a fold. All right, come on up to flat back. Okay, this is for my people who want to get deeper into their hamstrings. I'm going to encourage you to find some wall space, and you can do this with wide legs or straight legs, whatever you'll get, however you get more out of it. But you're just basically going to take your back up against the wall. Okay, and then as you fold, you inch your feet in closer and closer. Get as close as you can. You want to be strong in your heels. Try to get long through the back and then push through your heels so that you push yourself into the wall. Now here's a bit of a trick. The lower on the wall you can feel your back,
the deeper a stretch you're getting. So if you're all upper back right now, try for mid back. If you're all mid back, try for one vertebrae toward the lumbar, toward the lower back. Okay? If you're like contortion style flexible, then you'll have your low back up against the wall, like totally flat. Let's spend a little time feeling this. And if you feel too much pull in your hamstrings, please listen to that, because you can end up taking steps backwards. If you overstretch or stretch in too much, you're going to end up just needing like rest and acupuncture instead of more stretching. And then when you're ready, you'll inch out from this, come on up to flat again.
Come on up, you're gonna build yourself triangle. Okay. Staying wide open across the heart. And then isolating that motion, the range of motion in the right shoulder joint. So you can make circles, slow to my mind is good. You can feel where you fire. And then eventually that right arm crosses the ear. We'll look down, roll down, sweep the left leg high, and you could plant your elbows. So I'm gonna give you a couple of options here. We're gonna start practicing. We're working our way toward the hollow back, but we're not quite getting there yet. So if you can do a forearm stand and like practice opening your chest, that's all we're doing right now. If you're not quite at a forearm stand, I'm gonna cue that you try this by doing a headstand at the wall and then lifting your head up off the ground. Okay. Yeah, so setting up for a headstand, getting yourself up to the wall. You could unlace your hands if your body lets you do that, and then you push so hard into your forearms that your head lifts up, and that is all trap strength, all the pushing strength. Okay, can we be hugging the ribs in, pulling them down away from your chin? Again, that's hard for me. I'm still opening this angle of my shoulders, even though compared to the general population, my shoulders are pretty open. All right, let's stay with it. Keep pushing, keep sending the heart through. Gaze is right into the middle of the room. A few more breaths. And then nice and slow. This time, let's catch a child's pose. Okay, gotta do puppy. Gotta do puppy. It's a passive opening, but it's effective nonetheless. So we're gonna try to combine some passive shoulder flexion openings with some active ones today. So I encourage you to do blocks today. Get your elbows up to them. Elbows will be shoulder distance apart. Make sure your knees are far enough away that your chest can come through. Now you can still be kind of hugging the lower ribs down away from your chin. To me, that gives an extra stretch, like through the armpits and the inner shoulders. A bit of the lats, you'll hug them in. So it's not like this sloppy, floppy, ribs down puppy. It's this like really controlled,
precise, less deep looking, but probably more fruitful for the shoulder joint puppy. All right, let's stay with it. Opening that angle right across the shoulders. Okay, let's come out of it. We'll walk the left hand over to the left. We'll keep the right arm angled right. And you're gonna do the same thing. It kind of starts like this like cockeyed diagonal puppy. You can go passive, super passive, and then get a little active in the shape by pulling the ribs in, really isolating the stretch and the opening at the shoulder joint and whatever attachments are kind of keeping you a little tight there. Strong and tight doesn't have to be a bad thing. It's protective, of the joint. So another breath or two in and out. And then back at center. Okay, resituate the left arm. Now you're going to open the right arm wide. Angle your head over to the right, and then just let yourself feel it passively for a little bit. It's like, to me, it's just like a satisfying, easy opening. But then we'll get more disciplined about it. So we're gonna hug the front ribs in a lot, okay? Keep them hugged in as you move back into the stretch. All about how it feels. Not what it looks like. All right, and then come out just a little bit. Okay, now we've got these blocks. Let's do a bit of core work because we're going to combine this stuff and get into first a Pinchamayurasana hollow back. Taking the blocks near you, you can be sitting on your heels, lift the knees up, and then cross the ankles out in front. Let's pulse the knees up for 10, 9, 8, do your best, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Sit it all the way down. Soles of the feet together, knees wide. Do you want to do that, Jovian? You try that one? Folding. Just let the inner thighs rest and open in between the sides. And then come on up, plant the blocks again, this time cross the other ankle in front. Lift your seat, maybe you can lift your knees. Pulse them up for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. This time wide legs. Could help to get on some height because you really do want to feel it that the inner thighs, not just the hamstrings. All right, let's climb back up. We're gonna systematically piece this together now. So bring a block along with you. We gotta find some wall space. We're gonna do some active
shoulder opening work, this is a good one. You can even grab a hanger if you don't have a block, whatever you got. So come really nice and close to the wall. Wall is here so that the whole front body stays really disciplined and straight. So pushing the ribs up against the wall. Everything touches, hips, ribs, nose. Arms reach up. Try to keep the elbows straight. You're going to first shift upward. That's your trap shrug. Trying to keep the elbows straight as you take the block off the wall about as far as you can. Slower is better. Stay precise. Let the activation happen. Let's go for 10 of them. Go ahead. And then pop off. Okay, shake it out a little. Let's get a little more heat. We're going to do another sequence that'll lead us to some back bends, some heart openings. So sweep the arms all the way up and then dive them down. Flat back. We'll step or leap to lower in your way. Inhale upward. Exhale downward. Let's sweep the right leg up high. Step that foot outside or just to the top of the mat. Right arm reaches up. Step the right foot halfway back, and then you choose it. Are you going to step back for a wild thing? It's up to you. Step the right foot to the top of the mat. Come all the way up to Peaceful Warrior. And then circle down. You're going to step your knees together. Come right into a camel pose. Lifting the heart, grabbing the heels, taking a little time. Come all the way up. Shake it off. And then come back to downward facing. Sweep the left leg high. Step that foot forward. Sweep the left arm up. Step the left foot halfway back. Perfect place to stay, or step this left foot behind. Grab a wild thing. Look toward the top of the mat. Step the left foot forward and create your Peaceful Warrior. And then circle it down and around. Let's step onto the knees again. This time, I'm going to encourage you to tuck the toes, sit all the way down, and lay all the way back. Pull the heels in really, really close, and then try to lift your seat, hold your ankles, and send your knees forward. This won't work in all bodies, so if this doesn't work for you, you can lay all the way down, roll to your side, and pull a heel in. You want a big stretch through the quads and the hip flexors. But if it's okay with you, then you're just kind of like taking turns with each side, reaching the arms overhead for the full lat stretch, everything connected from the quads, the hip flexors, across the abdomen, the chest, to the shoulders. And if you feel ready for it, get yourself a wheel. If you really want hollow back, then wheel is kind of prerequisite. If wheel has been challenging for you, you can put blocks up against the wall
You can grab a sturdy friend's ankles. This is just a warm-up round. And then tuck the chin, slowly lower. Catch complete rest. We'll be rocking the knees. Okay, so I'm gonna open us up at least one more time, and this time it'll be wheel at the wall. When you come into wheel at the wall, you wanna try pressing your chest up against the wall, and then acknowledge for a second while you're there that that is the degree of opening that you'll look for when you go to do your hollow back, whether that's forearm stand or handstand. Okay, so set yourself up. Okay, another alternative, by the way, if you're not going to be doing wheels today, is to grab some kind of like strap or sock and be working on your shoulder mobility, trying to isolate through the shoulders and chest the best you can. You can even be doing that from like camels, one arm at a time. Take what's going to serve you. More puppies, puppies at the wall. And then you can climb down, climb up, do what you do, take complete rest. How's my boy? Good. Okay, I got a final warm up for you if you want to take it. Now, if you're already feeling like tuckered out, skip this one and we'll move you right into the hollow back. But if you're feeling okay, you're going to do the wheel at the wall, press your chest against the wall, and then see if your body will allow you to come down onto your elbows. All right, and then I'll give some cues once we're there. Can you come to elbows? Can you press your chest up against the wall? Maybe even lower your seat. Try to get your sternum, your upper ribs up against the wall. And start looking forward a little bit, like towards your heels or your hands. This is kind of the hollow back feeling, except the gaze will be different. Might come down onto your head, plant your hands, come back through wheel. Walk the feet out, tuck the chin in, lower. Take some time. Get super soft. Really through the whole body. Okay, so I'm going to be teaching it through forearm stand right now. If you want to apply this to a handstand, you certainly can. There are lots of ways to do it. You can do it with a wall. You can do it with a chair, or like a couch is even better. You could even start in wheel and kick up to this. Okay, so but let's take this a stage at a time. If you're at the wall, you're at the wall. If you know that you are ready to take the next step, I think the next step is going to be kick up to forearm stand and get your feet to land on like your couch or your bed. I'm going to see if I trust myself to do this on a chair today. But a chair is not that ideal because it's not that sturdy. Nice. All right, first thing I'm going to do is try to figure out how close I need to be in order to do this safely. I'm basically using the chair as like a safety net. So eventually I'm going to have my forearms down and kick over onto the chair. But I'm going to set up like a bridge, because this is going to give me some sense of how far away I need to be from the chair. So I'm actually pretty close. I'm going to keep my elbow here, flip around, and then place like my wrists or my mid forearm where my elbows were. Okay.
Only if you trust it. You're gonna kick up. Helps to split the legs, bend one knee. Okay, and see if you can touch the chair. If you can touch the chair, great. All right. Next thing is trap shrug. Gaze through to the middle of the room or even up. Now everything is in place except for your legs. So you can lift one knee in, that's the easier way, or lift it up toward vertical. That's super challenging, but you might want to play with it. So you could do one at a time. If you trust it, you can come off. Some of you will do both knees at the same time. Just make sure you have an exit plan, you guys. It looks cool, right? I'm going to take just a little time in between attempts here to just slow the heart rate down. If you're very flexible, you won't need the chair at all. Maybe a bolster or even like a block will do. It helps to be willing to fall out of forearm stand. So if you can go to forearm stand and kick over, let your feet land on the ground, you're in really good shape. In fact, I'll move the chair and show that. Okay, what I'm about to show you is an intentional fall out of a hollow back practice. I think that if you can practice falling, then you can practice the thing, today hollow back, much more successfully because you have no fear. You get over the fear. So let's fall on purpose, or I'll show you how I do. I'll practice my hollow back. Knees are going to come in today. Drop the head. Look through all the way up to my knees if I can. Okay. Maybe if I wanted to straighten my legs, I could. But if I lost it, where would I go? I'd send one leg down and find the ground. Okay, so the fall, I've discovered, really isn't so bad. And then, like I said, you could always kick into a hollow back. Easier said than done, huh? And we'll take rest between attempts. Okay, let's do one more attempt. So I'll invite you, I don't know if I have it in me today, but I'll invite you, if you want to try to get your legs to vertical. It can be pretty weird. Or to try it in handstand version, and all the same things apply. Wall, prop, middle of the room if you trust the fall. Let's go. When you're ready to rest, backs of the hands down. Okay, get some wrist flexion. You can even rock it a little bit side to side. Stretch the neck. Allow the heart to slow. Obviously, if you got more juice, keep on practicing. If you're ready though, we'll call it a shift. Take the hands back. You can pull one arm around, tip your head, and stretch the neck really well. And then other side. So the neck muscles and the traps can get really tight the more you practice these inversions. And you just get out of balance. You know, you don't want to be all tight and nothing supple. So that's why I'm such a stickler for the post-workout stretching. It is worth it. And then on back through center. All right, let's take a little twist to one side and a little twist to the other side. All right, scan you. What is left that needs to be done? For me, it's a final relaxation. It may sound funny, but how much can you check out? How much can you fall into that brainwave state that says, I got nothing to do, everything is all right, and I'm going with the flow. If you want a nap with me or rest on me or whatever, you totally can. Because I'm going to take a 5-minute rest break. Okay? I love you. See you in 5 minutes.
Also, Mommy?
Mm-hmm.
I do YouTube now?
For a few minutes after Shavasana. This is called Shavasana, okay?
Wait, can I do YouTube now?
If you turn it down a little bit.
It's okay.
Okay.
It's a good vibe.
Okay, Bibs. Hey, but when I say time to come off,
Time to come back.
you got it. That's too loud. Come on into deeper breaths and stretching. And come all the way up. Thank you so much for being here, Yogi. Let me know how that went. See you next time. Be in touch.
Thank you for practicing. That's your spine.
Mm-hmm.
In there, that's... I need to... Oh,